What's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of the 10% Better podcast. My name, of course, is Andrew McGee, and today I have two very special guests. We have Adam from Everybody's Fitness, and also David is his personal training brother. How are you doing, guys?
Hi, good. How are you doing? Thanks.
Good. Thanks for coming along, and it'll be good to talk all things fitness from two guys that have got obviously a good perspective about what's happening post COVID-19 and what the industry is going to look like and what's currently been happening. Do you guys want to give just a little introduction about both yourselves and what you guys do?
Yeah, sure. So at the minute we're in my gym. Thought it appropriate to do it from the gym. It's where I spend most of my time still. So I started my fitness journey at about 16. I think I've been in it for about 14 years now as a lifeguard, fitness instructor, personal trainer. Then I went a bit in a different way as a sales advisor and a marketing manager. And then in 2018, I bought the gym, and here we are now. A bit different to how I thought it would be, but still, it's brilliant. You know, I love my gym, so
Yeah.
it's great.
Good.
Yeah, my name's David, self-employed personal trainer and Rotation Fitness. A bit background on me. So I started in Valentine Health Club Warrington as a cleaner, and I worked my way up to the gym. I worked in the gym for around about 6 years. Then I made the leap for self-employment around about 27 years old. I've been self-employed now for about 6 years, 6 to 8 years. And I do operate in hours of Valentine, but I kind of pay them rent to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But I also do home clients, outdoor clients, and my own stuff basically. So that's where I'm at the moment.
Brilliant, and that's really good as well. When you look at, as you say, you'd started off cleaning in the gym, you know, and people look at that all the time and go, "Oh, that person's just a cleaner," but you've got a real kind of rise to riches story in the fitness industry in that case, from going from the cleaner straight up to the PTs kind of area. But it's good because it gives you the perspective of all the aspects of the club as well. I think that's lost nowadays, is that people just either jump straight into personal training or straight into the gym instructor side of things, but you see the things that really make a difference as well, i.e. keeping the club clean, making sure things are assorted and systems are in place, you know?
Yeah, indeed.
Which is a big thing. Jumping kind of straight into the deep end, when you guys first heard about this virus, so let's rewind, I would say 4 months, 5 months. Let's rewind to there. When did you guys first hear about it, and what was your initial thoughts on the impact it would have, if any, at that point?
It's funny, really. Probably, what would you say? Just after Christmas, wasn't it? Started to hear little bits and pieces about it, and initially it seemed like it was just going to be in that one area. Stuck there. That was it.
Yeah.
But I think March is the time it started to really ramp up. And the end of March is when it hit my peak. And like you said, initially, probably like everybody else, we thought, you know, it's one of those things, SARS, things like that. It's not going to affect my life too much.
Mm-hmm.
But when it got to March, that's when I started thinking maybe it is going to affect my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually personal training somebody in this gym. I had my TVs on in the background, got BBC News on, and then in the little banner, restaurants, pubs, gyms. And that night, 9 p.m., that was it.
Yeah. That was we call that Black Friday in the fitness industry. That's what that was. That was the opposite of a good Black Friday. I mean, from my perspective, like you guys, heard about it January, February, you heard some news reports, thought to myself, oh, there are dates over there by getting a virus, whatever, everything will be fine. It won't go anywhere else. If it does, it'll probably be all right. we were planning on booking a holiday, and my other half kept saying to me, look, I don't want to fly with all this stuff. This is January. This is happening. And she's saying, I don't want to fly. I'm thinking, you're crazy. Like, I'll go myself. What's the issue? All that kind of stuff. And then, as you say, as the months started to go on, late February, there was kind of cases starting to come up in other countries. And I think Italy, when you started to see it there, you thought, right, okay, this seems to be a bit of an issue. And then come March, I would say, I think it was the 20th was the closure date. So probably a week to 2 weeks before that, it became a conversation in the club. You know, like it wasn't just something you were seeing in the news. People were then coming and going, oh wow, this is pretty crazy, all that's happening here. And as the days went on, for instance, we had a couple of kind of emergency staff meetings to say, right, okay, here's what we're going to have to do. Here's precautions we will take. And my thing was, I kept saying, we probably won't get locked down. We probably won't get closed. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you guys are the same, but in my mind, I was thinking, there's no way in hell that like the UK will get locked down. We'll figure it out somehow, you know. And then I was in my house. A couple of guys were on shift on the Friday. I was in my house. I was glued to the TV for the past week before it, hearing Boris's briefings. I was in the house, and then, as you say, the whole thing comes up: pubs, clubs, restaurants, gyms closed. Because
you said in the gym, we have a very clean gym anyway, and I'm sure a lot of people do.
Yeah.
But just sort of wrapped it up a little bit with a list, extra things, extra touch points, things like that.
Yeah.
And we thought, like you said there, that would be enough. Keep going.
Oh yeah, it was the same at Valentine as well. They were setting up with feeding measures. Same as Adam was mentioning. It was the Friday. I'd seen a few of my clients. I got them training in there, and kind of got home, and obviously like the TV came on, and I was under the same impression. And I heard it from my other half actually. She texted me through, and she was like, I think I've just heard that gyms are closing, and I was like, I don't know, we'll be okay.
Yeah.
And I obviously got home, we both watched it that night, and there it was. And then instantly, you kind of have to think of another way around it. So, I was kind of almost that night, kind of on the phone to clients, on the social media, saying, right, this is how we're going to have to operate, it's going to have to be outdoors.
Yeah.
And some of the guys were pretty serious. They were like, yeah, that's great. A few of the other guys were in shock, you know. They're just like, what do we do without the gym?
Yeah, I mean,
yes, guys, it's just it's unheard of, isn't it? So, crazy.
I don't think you ever get into the industry or you ever open up a gym and think that it's going to get closed or you're going to have to stop operating due to something that you've not done. You know, like you never. We're 7 years open, and we at no point did I think we took on another unit last year, and at no point did I think then, oh by the way, next year you're going to have to stop operating for at least 3 months. You know.
Even if someone said it to you, you've just been like, well. You know, it's like Adam said, obviously, when we first did hear about it, you know, maybe December sort of time. Personally, I thought it was just kind of, we don't have to worry about it. It's just something that's happening somewhere else.
Yeah.
Not for 1 minute did I think they come to a lockdown situation.
Yeah, it was a surprise. And I mean, from that, how has it kind of impacted both your guys' businesses? What have you guys kind of been forced to do individually?
So we closed on the Friday, 20th, and then on Saturday, I created a group, online group. I put a message out there to all of them to come and join the group, and I promised that I would do 3 live workouts a week, and I'd do other bits and pieces to keep everybody going.
Yeah.
Froze all my memberships because I thought I'm not going to make them pay for something they can't use. And I gave them the option. If they want to support the gym, they can.
Yeah.
And some people did.
Yeah.
And I've kept that up ever since. So 3 days a week, I'll do a live workout. People joining in. Some members of the gym, some people who just jumped on to get a part of it as well. But yeah, it's impacted me, I guess, on a bit of a mental side as well. Because like you said, you've got the gym. I bought the gym. It's like my baby.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm the only one in here, you know.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to it being buzzing and full of people. And I'm sure the people told me they feel the same. It's not just the gym. It's somewhere to go, to offload, to talk to people, friends, things like that. So it's difficult, but I'm sort of safe in the knowledge that I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Everybody's the same. Everybody's the same.
Yeah. And then what about yourself, David?
Myself, I've done a similar sort of thing. I mean, obviously, with my clients, at the moment, probably got about 15 and something like that. But yeah, on that day that obviously we found out that lockdown was happening, I used quite a lot of social media to kind of reach out to them, did a bit of a post just to let them know that obviously I'm going to be going to their outdoor training now.
Yeah.
Adam came up with a bit of a private Facebook group for the guys that I've got on Facebook. And similar to Adam, obviously bringing workouts. I've done kind of my Facebook lives for them. Trying to keep them motivated as well. I've found my own the time that this has happened, they're kind of on in peaks and troughs. So they're kind of obviously when we did something different when it first shut down, some of the guys are up for the outdoor stuff, they're like, yeah, great, don't worry about it, put me in, I'll see you then.
Yeah.
But the other guys, they just go into a bit of a shop when they've got no gym, and they're just kind of like, oh, mate, I don't really like the sound of the outdoor stuff.
Yeah.
But I've offered online FaceTime as well. That's worked really well to kind of keep everybody engaged. But yeah, you've still got the guys that can't see past the gym.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, the gym has gone, and if the gym has gone, I can't train them. I've been trying to keep it going like that, really. And to be honest with you, I've had some really good support from some of the guys. I mean, some of them have kind of given me money to keep me going in this time as well. Because obviously financially, I'm probably below half of what I would normally bring in.
Yeah.
Obviously, the gym's got me out a little bit. They've kind of put a cap on the rent, so I'm not paying my rent at the moment.
Yeah.
But obviously, when the gym's open again, that'll kind of we've got a deal to kind of integrate that back in.
Yeah.
But yeah, then same as Adam. I mean, what I found personally, I mean, it does affect you mentally. But the good thing about obviously having a self-employed business and having a gym like Adam's got, you always have the drive to kind of do something for the business. So even though we're in lockdown, I mean, you're still thinking, like, what could I post there? I'd probably make a video on that, and I could give the guys a live kit. So you're always trying to think of ways to keep them going.
Yeah.
So that's what I found.
Yeah, I mean, even from the point of view, like you say, owning the gym, when we found out about it and we were told we had to close, we, like every other independent gym, pretty much says, okay, we're going to have to do some form of pivot in online gear. We're going to have to change the way that we operate and still be able to deliver value, because the problem hasn't changed. The clients that come to you, they still present a problem that hasn't changed during lockdown. And that problem is that they want to lose weight, they want to get fitter, they want to build some muscle tissue, they want to gain confidence, and they want to change their body image. These things haven't changed. So as trainers, as gym owners, as operators, we still have a value, and we still have the potential and the opportunity to deliver these things to help these people. So we realised that straight away, and we said, right, okay, we instantly went to the gym that Friday night as staff, and we filmed loads and loads and loads of different workouts. loads of workouts that you could do body weight wise, loads that you could do with minimal equipment, with some resistance bands, with dumbbells, with some kettlebells. Created the online group like a lot of other people have. Said what we were going to deliver. We were going to deliver live workouts. We're going to deliver daily video workouts. We're going to deliver Zoom quizzes, blogs, information style videos, etc., etc. Just as much value as we possibly could, and then put it out to all our members. And from that, like you say, you get a couple of different emotions when it happens. So the first one is oh my God, the gym's closed. You don't know how long it's going to be for. You don't know any other details. You just know you have to close the gym. Then the second big emotion is when you realise, wow, I've got so many people here and so many members that are so supportive and want to help us, and some people that you didn't even think that would be the case. Some people surprise you and you're like, wow, that's amazing. You start to get pouring in of messages and comments, and you go, and that kind of lifts you a little bit into the sense that you can say, and then you can kind of say, right, okay, do you know what? I'm kind of onto something here, and I'm going to have to do the best I can throughout this kind of full lockdown to still help that problem and still provide a solution for that problem. That's kind of the way that we've seen it. Obviously, it does give you a lot more time. It does give you a lot more kind of time to maybe look at things, work on things. What's the kind of positives and negatives you guys would say that you have took from the lockdown so far?
For me, like we were just speaking about there, the positives are we've all come up with different ways of doing things. I mean, I don't think any of us are going to stop doing online stuff.
Yeah.
It's a different way to do it, and it's worked really well. And it means you can get to more people. If somebody called me and said, I can't make my PT session for the next week.
Yeah.
I'm on holiday, but I still want to do it. No problem now. You have to do it online.
Yeah.
Which for some reason I didn't particularly think about before. Positives for me as well. Here, if you imagine my gym is on a road that's leading into the high street, and down the high street you've got butchers, which stayed open, and then shops, non-essential shops that have all been closed. So on the Sunday, me and my wife went to the butchers and said, I'll deliver food for you while we're locked down. So I've been doing that, and from that, the community spirit down this road is amazing.
Yeah.
And that's something I've had before that I think come maybe July 4th, wherever it is, it's going to be even better down this road. We're all going to interact, work together, and I think that's going to be a massive positive for me down here.
Yeah.
Only negatives is the fact, like I said, that the gym's shut.
Yeah.
We're not getting to as many people as we can. I've got a lot of older members that don't have Facebook.
Yeah.
And I've encouraged them just to go on YouTube. I've set up a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Some of them don't do that, so then I'm kind of stuck how I get to them and help them.
Yeah.
I have to wait really for some of those guys to come back here. That's me.
Yeah, for sure. And just going along the lines of what Adam said, I mean, definitely a positive for me is the social media aspect. So things like FaceTime and Zoom that we're on now.
Yeah.
Again, I think it might be a time thing, when you're kind of doing your own thing, you've got all your people in your diary, and you just get used to seeing people in the gym and doing your thing. I mean, even though it's been available to me, I mean, this is the first time that I've been kind of using it to its advantage.
Yeah.
So, even with the outdoor guys, I mean, in the past week the weather's been quite changeable. So if we get a rainy day and my eyes like, I still want to do this session, but it doesn't look great out there. So we've been doing FaceTime sessions. So that's been a real positive. I didn't used to have a closed group for clients. I found that has really helped kind of integrate everybody together.
Yeah.
And the good thing about that is obviously when you're posting it, you can actually see looking at it and it's reaching. And I feel, especially with the guys that are on that particular group, they've really kind of stepped up to the mark. And it's been really helpful, and it's something that I will take on into, obviously, when things are lifted a little bit. Negatives is, obviously the financial aspect. It's pretty tough. Obviously, my income's been cut by a quarter part, really. It's a shock to the system, but like I say, I mean, I know I've been really fortunate to have a fair few of my clients that really stepped up to the mark in this situation. And a few of them have paid me the whole time. So it's pandemic, they've gone, don't worry, mate, I'll still pay monthly as I normally do. And it's helped me to pay the bills that I have to pay at this point.
I think another good and positive is, my old job. I was going around to a lot of different gyms, maybe 12 gyms every year for 6 weeks at a time. And I kept all those people on my Facebook, and all of a sudden we're all talking to each other. Me and Dave always talk to each other anyway, but my cousins in the industry, there's other people around here that we're talking to, and it's kind of like,
it's brought people closer together in a strange way, which is it really makes sense, because obviously when we've had the freedom before, the brain doesn't take on these kind of things that you could potentially be doing. And this situation, I mean, it is brought us all closer together. I mean, even our friends, we don't get to see that often. I mean, we've been getting together doing quizzes and all sorts of stuff over social. So it's been strange, but there's been a fair few positives from that, I feel. It is a bit bad.
I think all you can do at a time like this is find the positives and dig out the positives. You know what I mean? From our point of view, like, I would say the positives are, number one, it gives you a bit of time to actually think and analyse things and slow down and really focus on what you're currently doing. Because for me as a business owner, I'm always trying to think of the next thing and where we can go and so on and so forth. But it's allowed me to kind of analyse, right, okay, what are we doing well, what are we not doing well, what are we spending too much money on, what are we not spending enough money on, what can we tweak, what can we change, and almost just gives your business armour at this time, so that when you come out on the other side, you're far stronger than you were before. Adding in aspects, like you say, of the online style training, of the group Facebook groups and things of that nature, these are all things that are valuable and all things that will be beneficial to businesses moving forward out of this. So there is, I think you're either one or two types of people. You're either going to just go, do you know what, this is a nightmare, it's terrible, I can't do anything. I mean, I've seen it. I'm part of loads of different groups where there's independent gyms and all that kind of stuff, and there's some people that are innovating and killing it and are going to come out on a good position on the other side, and there's some people that won't, and that really comes down to the individual, you know.
You've got to be driven and you've got to want it. Obviously, when you've got a business like yourselves, and obviously I have, it doesn't really seem like an option. You know what I mean? It seems like to me like, you're on autopilot anyway, because you just think to yourself, right, if I haven't got the gym, then I'm going to train people outside. And if I train people outside, then I've got to figure out an online group. So that was kind of what went for me. I was kind of like, you do have that moment when you're in headlights and you think to yourself, I don't really know where to go. But then you kind of like, you calm yourself down a little bit, and then you think, well, people have shown me this avenue before, my clients, to see what they think. And it seems like it was just a kind of natural way to operate, really. It was never a thing to me to give up on myself.
You've got to keep going with the positives, like July 4th. June 15th is when the shops can reopen, the non-essential shops. I've got a foyer in here, so I've changed that into a supplement shop. Another way to try and make, get people coming in again, make a little bit of money. gym. I'm going to be here anyway. So, like you say, things like that is something you can only do if you're in that positive frame of mind.
Yeah.
Looking for something more.
Yeah. And I think probably the biggest negative from it, obviously there's a big financial point for a business that is a negative, of course, but I think for an independent gym, for the biggest negative I would say for us is that you just miss like being at the gym, you know. Like I always say, it's such a strange job that I've got, because I really love being at the gym, and I really love when there's music on and people are getting places and doing things, and people are in having a great deadlift session. I refer back to so strange specific moments. Like I was driving the other day and I was thinking of the time where we had a full Red Hot Chili Peppers album playing, and there was like a great deadlift session happening down at the platform, and you just miss like interacting with everybody. And because in an independent gym, it's kind of like you're just seeing all your mates, like you're just having a good time and seeing people that are cool, you know, and helping them. And so it is very hard to get that kind of took away, you know.
Yeah, we said it before, like, what other place like this as a workplace for me? You know, you got half-naked people walking around, doing their personal best, screaming, shouting, sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's where you work, you know, and you love it.
It's a good environment, and obviously it's an environment of positivity as well.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, people come here to kind of escape their kind of jobs. You know, some of my guys are online anyway, so obviously that's why sometimes when I'm offered the online option, they're kind of going, well, you know, I'm kind of online anyway.
Yeah.
But I do genuinely believe that I've got a few of my guys there, it's almost a bit of an escape for them. They come and see me for an hour, and that's their time to just kind of forget about work, forget about the stresses and strains of life, and they just take it out on the weights, basically. And it's just a place of positivity and good communication, and it's a place to test yourself.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great atmosphere to be in.
Yeah. Well, when do you guys? Well, a kind of two-part topic here. What do you think the industry will look like when we reopen? And when do you think it will go back to complete normality?
I don't even know if we will reach a stage of where it went to before. I mean, for me personally, I mean, obviously I'm in a bigger gym anyway. I've kind of heard, things that may happen, things that might not happen. But I know for sure that everyone that goes there, and obviously, and Valentine themselves, the feeding options are going to be heightened dramatically.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that will stick. I think it will stay. Gyms have always been a place of obviously you've got to lie down here. But sometimes it's got into a situation where you're just in the zone, you really work out, you kind of sweat over something, then you get too much in the zone, you just move on.
Yeah.
But I think that'll be a thing of the past. I think it will become an obligation to kind of if you use that piece of kit, you're going to have to make sure you wipe it down.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it would be a bad thing.
No.
You know, if this is going to be the new normal and it sticks, I don't think it's a bad thing. It would be hygienic in the gym. It's fine. I think the things at the start would be maybe the screens.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing in your gym, but screen at the front desk I've got, screen in between some pieces of equipment.
Yeah.
That might stay, it might not. Maybe capacity and numbers. That might be at the start and dwindle away as we get away from this. But for me, I'm just going to have more clean stations in here as well, which I'll keep long after this is gone, probably for as long as I have in the gym.
Yeah.
Just be about maybe policing it a little bit more, like you said in your gym. If there is that one guy or girl that comes in and just goes for it, you're just going to have to police it a little bit more. Make sure they think of other people in the gym as well.
I think that also, I mean, it's going to be a tough one. Personally, I'm not sure on how it's going to go yet. You hear different things about what they may introduce and what they may not introduce. But I know sure that obviously at the start, my limited numbers is a factor that I've put on quite a lot. And obviously for a place like Valentine, they've got like 4,000 odd members.
Yeah.
So it's going to be so difficult to kind of police that. I can't see at the moment how it's going to work.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that obviously limited numbers, cleaning stations for sure, and screens, like you say. They mentioned that as the running machines, as you kind of sweat breathing out and all that sort of stuff.
I don't know. It's a funny one, isn't it? I think if we're talking about it in the sense of the way it might go, it's 2 meters now, isn't it? They're talking about 1 meter.
Yeah.
The World Health Organization and the 1 meter. So if we do go to the 1 meter, it's going to make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But I understand there's still going to be some people that are like, I want 2 meters. So I'm spacing everything out for that.
Yeah.
That's where we go from there.
Yeah. The kind of thing that we've looked at, so we've done a couple of different things. We've, for instance, our cardio kit, we've now took out every second treadmill and we've put it in another room next door. So we've got that 2 meters between each treadmill, and then we've got 2 meters between the treadmill and the cross trainer, and then we'll put all the other cardio in a room that we've got next door, and we'll just kind of put that out 2 meters apart as well. Obviously, from the standpoint of sanitising, we'll get loads of hand sanitising stations. We'll get loads of spray bottles with elephant roll kind of sitting about to wipe down machines and stuff like that when you're done. And then realistically, we're obviously going to have to up our cleaning, so we'll get time slots for staff to do the cleaning more during the day and at night time, and then we've got a full contract cleaner that comes in once a week and does a full deep clean anyway. But bar that, for instance, some of the machines we've took out and moved and changed, as in the resistance machines, just because some of them aren't 2 meters apart. But a lot of the machines that are maybe close to one another, they've got a perspex screen up at the side of them anyway. So that's actually been pretty good, because that kind of solves that issue. If you've got a perspex screen up beside a seated row, and then there's a chest press where somebody's sitting down, when both of you are sitting down, that's going to eliminate that. Then just put out some markings in the floor to show 2 meters. So bar that, you kind of have to then obviously allow members to have common sense and take a common sense approach, i.e. by staying 2 meters apart and spraying down the stuff and sanitising their hands when they come in the gym. Because as gym owners, it's a really good thing if they're spraying down the benches after use and wiping them.
It helps with the cleaning method anyway, doesn't it?
And you get more usage out of the equipment.
At the time that we come back, it's been so long that this has been drilled into people. I don't think we're going to have a problem telling people to stay 2 meters apart.
Yeah.
Everyone knows. Everybody knows.
Yeah, I think in a way it's going to be. There's going to be the people that are ready to get back. I know we're going to get people that can't wait for the forest to kind of go, right, this is what we're going to do for the gym, this is how to go back in. But yeah, I still think there's going to be a fair few that are going to be very nervous about this, kind of back into the whole situation. So yeah, I think everyone's going to be aware of it. I don't know anyone that I've seen that's not abiding by the rules, So I think it is just kind of one of those things that's just drilled into us now. Yeah. And it's way of life.
None of it's coming as a surprise. If you don't know over the past 3 months what's been happening, then I've no idea where you've been, And I think that the people, like you say, that are that are going to be really cautious, I completely understand that, but they also have to realise, by the way, you're going to have to start living again in some capacity. Like you need to, even if you are a bit worried about it, you still need to begin living again and start taking the necessary steps and start being cautious. But as long as you're implementing the correct things to make sure that you're safe and sanitised and everything like that, then you're probably actually going to be healthier and cleaner than you were on the other side, because I guarantee you before this you weren't sanitising as many times or wiping down things, you know.
If we do it right,
Mhm.
then we should give them the confidence to come in.
Yeah.
That's my idea, you know. I want to put out my stuff on social media and that everybody knows exactly what's going on, what I'm doing. Give them the confidence to walk in and say, you know, I'm happy being here.
Yeah. And say, for example, for clients that kind of decided they want to do the alcohol sessions, because you know, there's been about like 5 or 6 of them that took me up on it, which is great.
Yeah.
They've kind of been doing it solidly now for about a month or so. Before kind of doing like the FaceTime and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But once taking, obviously my alcohol, the wipes, the sanitizer, but I'm trying to encourage them to use their own kit. So they're not using my kit, I'm kind of using their own kind of kettlebells, they've got match, resistance bands, that sort of thing. And I organise a program around what they've got at this time. So that's one step that I try to take really.
Yeah. And I mean, the kind of thing that is frustrating is that for gyms, we've not been given any of this guidance by the government to say that you need to do this or you need to do that. The reason why we're putting all this stuff in place right now is because, and Adam, you'll be the same, is because we're looking at other countries that have reopened and looking at other countries that have gyms and going, right, they've did this, they've did that, here's what we'll do, because we think that that's what they're going to want.
Yeah.
You know?
I think if anybody's watching this independent gym and they're not quite sure, LinkedIn is a really good place.
Yeah.
See what's going on and get some really good advice from some people that are high up in this industry, have some good ideas. And like I did on it, just comment, ask them.
Yeah.
Like you said, this is not going off government advice. This is from talking to other people in the industry and trying to get it right before advice comes in.
Yeah.
Before they sound,
because it might be 2 days before we need to be open and they say this is what you can do.
Yeah.
So I want to be ready.
Yeah, it's all about the planning and it is same for anything. I mean, it's same for some PTs. Obviously, as long as you've got a plan, as long as you've kind of always got to think ahead. I mean, even if it's not like you guys, they've not said anything in particular at the moment, but you know that obviously when you get the go ahead, that you're in a position that you can reopen in the next day if that is the case.
Yeah.
So like you mentioned, I mean, LinkedIn is perfect for businesses because that's what it's all about. It's all about integrating businesses and gaining knowledge and sharing knowledge that you may not have heard about. But obviously, I've been keeping up with all stuff. And, I've been reading the legislation from what they potentially might do for the gyms, just to kind of keep myself in the loop more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, and also, if you can, if anybody is unsure as well, and if they're in an independent gym, if you can get a hold of a health and safety officer as well. So, for instance, we work a lot with an HR and health and safety officer, and one of the things that he said to us, he says, what will be a legal requirement prior to opening will be a brand new risk assessment carried out to include the current COVID legislation and guidelines that are in. So we've then had to go and do a full new risk assessment, make sure that we're knocking off exactly these different things and that we've got them saying, okay, we've did this, we've did that, this reverts to this document here, because we're still getting the documents from the government regarding legislation and guidelines for coronavirus. So as long as we can link that to that, then we're at least showing that from the legality standpoint we've did this, you know. So that is something that will be in place, is that I'm pretty sure all businesses will be, in Scotland anyway, will be forced to carry out a risk assessment prior to reopening, you know.
I think it stands to reason just purely to make sure that you're following the necessary legal guidelines.
Yeah.
Just to keep everybody safe, really.
Yeah. What's the kind of viewpoint you guys have got on how the importance of health and fitness will change after this as well? Because I think the lockdowns taught a lot of people that they need to do some form of exercise. They need to look after themselves, both for their physical and for their mental health. And I mean, even hearing the government's kind of specific instruction that you have an hour, or when it first started, that you have an hour where you can go outside and exercise. They highlighted how important that is, and I think a lot of people are now going to realise. And obviously, from being healthier and having less ailments and being not being obese, etc., you get less chance of these viruses actually having a detrimental impact.
Yeah.
I think it was. I think Chris Whitty. I think I read it. I put it onto one of my blogs. A government advisor said one of the best things you can do during this lockdown is exercise.
Yeah.
You know, like you said there, it's one of the best ways to protect yourself. And as there is no vaccine right now, what better vaccine can you have than being fit and healthy against something that's going to attack those sort of areas that helps when you're fitter?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be, well, even just looking online, it seems to be more important. It seems to be something everybody's thinking about. And, you know, that'll probably be good for us in the long run. But I also see, I don't know about you, thousands of PTs, online videos and all these things.
Yeah.
There's loads of us.
I mean, obviously, by thinking from a health perspective, I think obviously, even when I'm doing my runs, I mean, I get out there running a couple of times a week. You're getting all sorts of different people. I see loads of cyclists. And I think even people that are not used to kind of exercising because they've got hectic lifestyles, they're out there doing their thing. You know, you can tell that they're not necessarily practiced at it, but they're giving it a shot, you know. And like you mentioned, I think for us guys, I think people coming out of lockdown are going to want a little bit of a kind of a kickstart to kind of losing a bit of weight that they may have put on in lockdown. Food's been just in the kitchen, you know. I think in a weird sort of way, it might be a positive for us. It might take a little bit of time to, you know, kind of surface. But I know for sure, obviously, from the clients that I haven't been able to get back on board on the online training, the outdoor training, they're still keeping it going, but you do get to that certain point where you kind of you get kind of a bit complacent with it. You kind of think, oh, well, I'll do it tomorrow. But then, you know, it's kind of a bit of a downward spiral, and that's where us guys come in to kind of keep on track. You know, kind of say, right, guys, this is what we're going to do. This is kind of the training that we're going to enforce. And I think it'll be a positive in the long run. I really do. I think a lot of people are wanting to kind of get fit again.
I mean, we've had a lot of messages through from people saying that they've put on X amount of stone and that they're really starting to struggle mentally as well with the inability to go to the gym and exercise. So I think it definitely highlights what a integral part the gym really is to people's lives and people's lifestyles. And those that don't go to the gym are seeing the stats and seeing the numbers and seeing the benefit of having a little bit less weight to carry and having maybe better respiratory and cardiovascular health through exercise and fitness. So I think realistically, at the other side of this, for me, in my opinion anyway, there will be a lot more value on your health, and people will have to value their own hygiene and have to value their own cleanliness, which realistically means that they're going to have to value their own health even more than they did, because there's more of a spotlight on it at this period of time, you know. And that I think, like you say, will be a big difference for the gyms and the fitness industry as a whole. There will be a lot of people that will realise that they need to do something, you know. To kind of switch it on its head a little bit, what for 2020? Obviously, this has been a really rough year for everybody. But pre-coronavirus, what were the kind of biggest struggles that you found, and then your biggest kind of wins with running your businesses? Was there anything that you really thought have changed this year that worked really well, and things that you might have been struggling with?
I don't know, really. I think the biggest win is obviously the online transition that we can carry on with, and the biggest struggle is maybe, like I said, for me, I think the biggest struggle is my older clients.
Yeah.
That's my biggest struggle, because I really want to help them.
Yeah.
A lot of them come here for different reasons, and it's almost like I can't, other than talking to them on the phone, or writing them a letter maybe, I can't find a way to get to them.
Yeah.
I suppose I could do it outside their window, I don't know. I could find something to do.
But sorry. But say for example, my oldest client is 72. He's a former doctor, and he is a member of the gym. Even we do a lot of our training in his back garden. He's got quite a big area, and he just enjoys training outdoors rather than in the gym. Got nothing against the gym, he just prefers training outside. And he's one of my guys that has kind of supported me all the way through this. And pretty much I know it might be difficult depending on what the older guys have got, kind of illness and ailments and all that sort of stuff. But he's happy for me to go and train him at a social distance level. He's got all of his own kind of barbells and kind of plates and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And we have a PT session, and we've been doing that for as long as we've been allowed to do the outdoor sessions again. But it might be an option. I mean, he's always, even though he's my oldest client, he's always been one that's always, he gets a few injuries and he gets, a few calls from time to time. But because he's a former doctor, he's quite cautious on that.
Yeah.
If he doesn't feel he wants to train, he'll text me and be like, I don't feel like I'm going to train this week, I'll see you next week. But he's always been one of the guys that's always been the most kind of positive and wants to do it. He's always been there kind of going, right, if we can't do it this way, let's try it that way. And he was one of my guys that paid me all the way through as well. He was like, don't worry about the money. He's like, I'll pay you, just keep taking my sessions, but I'll pay you as if we're doing it by door.
Which is great.
I think it always depends on like what the older guys are up against. But I think for me personally, like you said, a win for me is when the online stuff. Definitely Facebook group. But I mean, in times like this, I mean, I've been doing all sorts of crazy stuff. You get kind of your book handle, your brush, and you work out with it. So I've been doing overhead squats with it. I've been doing my lunges, all this sort of stuff. But it makes you think more outside the box than maybe you normally would do. So that's a win for me. And I think obviously, like being a self-employed PT, you've always got to kind of work and kind of look towards the next thing. Because I suppose like the most disappointing element myself is, you want to continue learning. So obviously, like there was a few courses that I was thinking about maybe getting into. I'm sure there's still an online way of doing it, but I'm more a practical person. I like to get involved and like getting the sessions. But there's still time. I mean, obviously, we've got hopefully next year will be better. But mine is obviously I've not been able to kind of further my knowledge this year, really. But I have learned things to kind of proceed in lockdown.
I don't know what they could have done about it, but the other struggle throughout all this is just the lack of communication from the people at the top. I mean, gyms rarely mentioned, if ever.
I was going to say they never get mentioned.
So it's quite hard to know what's going on. I guess we have to lump ourselves in with hospitality maybe to see what's going on. But that's the other struggle I've found. Kind of gets it.
But I mean, when you look at it, it's so strange that there's very little mention of gyms or the fitness industry, because in the UK alone, the fitness industry employs 160,000 people, and that's what it employs. That's not even including self-employed business owners. 160,000 people. So I mean, that's number one. That's a lot of people's job, but it's also a massive contribution to the economy. So you would think that those at the top end would go, we can't really just box these guys in with everybody else. We need to be kind of, and I know you can't cut down to the exact pinpoint specifics of certain businesses and all that, but there should be, I think, at least some correspondence within the industry from the those in charge, you know. That's been a surprising point.
I mean, obviously, we're probably one of the most important features to kind of keeping people healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough one because obviously we're in a position where obviously you kind of get it some at the gym, you're sweating, you're kind of breathing heavy, you know. But yeah, and at the end of the day, I mean, in certain cases, we're kind of enabling people to maybe prolong their lives, you know.
Yeah.
So it does seem a bit odd that we're kind of bottom of the pile.
Here's the easiest way to look at it. See if you get rid of gyms and personal trainers and fitness centres tomorrow, wait till you see the amount of people that are in hospital and the amount of struggle that the NHS would be put under. If everything was closed tomorrow and you couldn't go to gyms or anything, in 2 years' time it would be chaos. The numbers would be insane, you know. So that shows you how important it really, really is to have the industry going and to have the industry keep going in some capacity, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's highly important in what we all do. You know, it's like Adam touched on, like people that have such varied kind of things that they come to us for. You know, sometimes it's kind of rehabilitation from injury, sometimes it's illness.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's kind of wanting to lift heavier or get a little bit of size increase, you know.
Yeah.
But that's the key thing about obviously like PT and gyms. It's like it's so varied, and obviously like not one kind of thing is always the same. You know, and it's a good kind of way to help people, and they're so kind of grateful to you. You know, when you hit those targets, and they're kind of able to move better, or lift that weight that they wanted to do, or lose that weight, or get to the weight that they wanted to.
Yeah.
They're so appreciative of your knowledge and the input, and obviously they've worked hard to get there. But it's just nice to see.
Yeah.
It's just nice.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest wins I would say from our point of view have been, from the start of the year, has been really systemising things so that each member of staff has a specific role that they know exactly what they're taking care of, you know. But I think this is always a business owner's constant uphill battle, is to really make sure that, okay, this person's completely taking care of that thing, and I don't even have to think about it. But with that, there also comes, okay, it has to be fed back in some way or logged in some way. So we're a big believer of Google Drive. We're a big believer of things like daily rundowns, weekly rundowns and stuff. So our biggest win really has been systemizing things in that capacity, where we can then access a document that shows exactly what's been done that week. And that obviously is then going to move forward with us for things like cleaning protocols and so on, so we can see who did what when and the accountabilities there. The biggest struggle, I would say, and I think I probably speak for the three of us, the biggest struggle we find is trying to completely bulletproof things and make things so simplistic and make clients as accountable as possible. So how good would it be if there was an app where you could just take a picture of the plate and it showed you exactly what was in it, calories, proteins, carbs and fats. So I'm talking MyFitnessPal, but even simpler, that you can just take a picture, boom, and then you've got your full. So for us, moving forward, it's been a struggle. We do have great transformations and stuff, but we always feel as though we can add more value to our members and our clients. So moving forward, we're probably going to be doing a lot more seminar style things, a lot more education based things, and really just getting people to understand a lot more than they maybe did before, because I think that will give them not only the value, but that will give them the tools to be able to adhere to the things that we put out as well. You know.
Yeah.
I think that's.
Yeah, it kind of enables them to kind of. But a lot of people, obviously, it depends on the mindset, the kind of person. But some people like a quick fix, or they're looking for a quick fix.
Yeah.
The only unfortunate thing is obviously my fitness and obviously nutrition. It's about consistency. It's not something you can just kind of do for a couple of months and then go, right, I've got where I want to be. I'll just do what I was doing before.
Yeah.
It's got to be a way of life, you know, and it can't be just something that's dipped in and out of.
Yeah.
It's something you've got to be consistent at.
It depends what you're looking for, because when you say that to some people, like, it has to be a way of life. We don't mean you have to be an athlete. We mean like just to get a little bit better, you know.
Changing habits, you know, by I don't know, something as little as maybe eat breakfast in the morning instead of not eating breakfast. You know, it's all about little habit changes, and I mean the majority of people that I've kind of integrated with over the time that I've been doing this is obviously even though they may not enjoy it, first of all, the training side of it, because it's painful, you know, it takes a point where you've got them eventually they do kind of get the buzz from it. You know, they kind of get into the session and go, well, that was hard, but I did really enjoy it. You know.
I always say to people is just try and think of it as just something that you do. So don't think of it that you going to the gym is a really big thing in terms of putting a lot of pressure on you and putting it at the top of a pedestal. Just think of going to the gym as just something that you do. Just the same as you go to work, or just the same as you drop the kids off. You go to the gym twice, 3 times a week. It's just something that you do day to day. And then when you can kind of adopt that mindset, then training just becomes part of your life, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's pretty much the way we've kind of operated for years.
Yeah, I think what must be that 3 to 4 months to become a habit.
Yeah.
So like if somebody comes to your gym and they say, oh, I just want to try it for a month.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Try it for a month. And then if they give up after that month, that's when that circle comes in, doesn't it? Where 3 months later, do it again. 1 month. Do longer, don't you? Just to make sure it
needs to become, like you mentioned, it needs to become kind of something that you would do on autopilot. So it's something like the gym for you is just kind of like, it's just a way of life. It just integrates. I mean, I was mentioning to my clients the other week, just making time for it, you know, because obviously, like in the day, say for example, last week was a bit hit and miss on the weather, so probably 3-4 times out of the week I'd get outside, especially this time, just do a bit of a circuit or a run. But no matter what happens in my day, I always know when I'm going to do it. So that day there is a workout plan. So I'm just trying to get across to my clients, as long as it's kind of in your day. You kind of make yourself accountable for that hour or that 45 minutes. It will happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's as you say, it's something that should be a lifestyle thing, and it's just a case of figuring out a way to make, however you do it, just figuring out a way to make that part of your lifestyle. You know, what kind of moving forward after the lockdown's over and when you're back to normal? What's your kind of plans for the end of 2020 and beyond? What have you guys kind of got in the pipeline? Anything specific?
I think, like I said a little bit before, the community aspect for me is going to be big. I want to make that a part of my gym. This community, doing things for the community, football clubs, the rugby clubs, you know, all that lot when they get back going. But first of all, I guess I just want to get back to where I was. That's the first goal. If I can do that, I'll be happy. Then going forwards, probably work with my family a little bit more, because my brother, Pete, my cousin, he's got a little gym in Peterborough. And we can do loads of things together. That's where I was going anyway. So it's just going to have to go maybe a year later.
That's good.
And just thinking about obviously what I would do or what I take from it. Definitely going to take the online aspect forward. That wasn't a feature in mine hardly at all. And, in a weird sort of way, because I hadn't tried it before, I just thought to myself, well, maybe I don't need to do it that way. And obviously, sometimes you mention it to your clients, and they're like, oh, I'm not okay with the online stuff. Don't worry about that. I'll see you outdoors, or I'll see you in the gym when it was possible.
Yeah.
But the online stuff and the interactive kind of FaceTime stuff, I'm definitely going to bring forward.
Yeah.
The Facebook, I'm definitely keeping, because that's a really good way of keeping the community feel and the community aspect going. I've been able to reach my clients in a kind of cluster rather than kind of seeing them and texting them individually.
Don't you find on the groups as well, like they all interact with each other as well? They feel better.
They do, and then that's what I mean. It gives it a bit of a community feel, and it's nice to kind of know that they're going through similar stuff. They kind of understand how I would train them. They understand some of the processes that we go through. They have about some of the movements that they recognise. Say for example, if there's a throw in there, they're kind of like, oh God, he hasn't put burpees in there for you. They all have like a bit of a laugh at that. But definitely those things move forward. And I mentioned, I mean, we're lucky enough to have kind of the family in the business. So obviously my brother and my cousin. And we really should kind of bounce off ideas off each other. And I mean, you and Ben are a bit more similar because you've got premises, a property. I'm a bit more kind of out on my own, self-employed, and I do use the kind of Valentine to operate in. But the thing about obviously being a self-employed PT, I'm able to branch out from that. So I'm not kind of in the gym as such. It's the base for me to kind of be a fair amount of clients, not all of them. But moving forward, I like the idea of the community stuff. I mean, I think it's important. Like you're saying, you've done some really good stuff in lockdown. It was a real good. It was a smart move with George Adams and that sort of thing. And then that was done. I was kind of more focused on trying to keep the clients motivated and trying to keep my business really. So I didn't really venture into that kind of element. But I think obviously moving forward, it's been more of a kind of good thing for my business personally, because it's kind of opened up a few more avenues. Say for example, if this hadn't happened, it might have been in the back of my mind, but I wouldn't have explored it necessarily. So and a few positives take away really.
Sometimes being outside the comfort zone is a good thing.
100%.
You're kind of forced into it, so you don't really have a choice. So all those kind of voices that kind of say, oh, maybe don't do it, might not work. When you're forced into the spotlight, you kind of have to make it work.
It's just a case of figure it out, basically. Figure it out on your feet, and it's either sink or swim. So, no, I definitely think that the community aspect that you get from the closed group pages, as you say, people talk to each other online when they're in the gym, then they'll start to talk to one another as well, so that'll carry over, which will be a really good thing, So guys, if anybody's looking to find you guys, to connect with you guys, where would we catch you?
I've got on Rotation Fitness. I've got 2 business pages. So I've got a Facebook business page. That's just under David Jones Rotation Fitness. Also Instagram. I think they can find me on my email address as well, which is Dave Jones at my.co.uk.
Brilliant.
Thinking about it, I mean, the kind of social aspect is the best way to get to me. I've got obviously my profile and poster in Valentine. I operate kind of in the Peterborough area. Also, kind of, I live more close to Bourne now. So I loads of people's houses. So I see people in Spalding, Deepin. I've been to Stamford before. So yeah, Peterborough area and the surrounding areas really. But yeah, I would say business pages is the best way to kind of get hold of you really.
Ideal.
Yeah, we're on everybody'sgym.co.uk and all the normal Instagram, Facebook, all are just under Everybody's Gym or Everybody's Spalding.
Brilliant. And I'll put a link in the show notes as well, so you guys can access these two guys. But no, guys, thank you very much for coming along today. And as I say, it gives a good insight into fellow fitness professionals and see what you guys are kind of taking from it and implementing and thought processes on it as well. You know, I think the more conversations that are had, as you say, amongst people in the industry, the better it can only be at the other side. You know, so
yeah.
So no, thank you very much for coming on, guys.
That's it, Andrew.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Cheers, guys. See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye bye.